This is the final Eagles, Cowboys, NFC each matchup, preview and prediction. We're live, breaking down all the keys, score predictions, and a Tyrese Maxey 50 burger. Trending on the AM on the STT Sports Network. We're live in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. Please, wherever you're watching, hit that like button, hit that share button, of course, subscribe to the STT Sports Network, the only network setting the trends for what sports talk should be in Philadelphia. Guys, I'm Phil Stiefel. We got a poll question of the day running on YouTube. Will the Eagles beat the Cowboys on Sunday? Yes, no, and for fun, it'll be another tie. Guys, make sure you vote on the poll. Make sure you hit all those buttons, guys. I'd greatly appreciate it. We got lots to get into today. A lot of Eagles-Cowboys breakdown. Some comments from Dan Orlovsky. Some comments from Jason Kelce. More A.J. Brown drama. But instead of it being Kelly Green week, instead of it being F Dallas week, one of our favorite weeks of the year, all we're doing is dealing with drama. All we're doing is questioning our quarterback that it proves, week in and week out how elite he is at winning. All the things that this week should be about. We're stuck dealing with drama. So we got lots to get into today, and obviously I do want to highlight, even though I didn't get to watch much of it, highlight the phenomenal game Tyrese Maxey put on last night. In the Sixers' overtime victory over the Bucks, the 54 points from Tyrese Maxey, that's pretty special right there. So we're going to talk about that as well. Good morning, Adam. Football Friday. Eagles win 24-17. If the Eagles win, it's going to be a closer, low-scoring game. Absolutely. Big win, yes, from Maxey. Good morning, Robert. How you doing on this beautiful Friday morning? Good morning, Duck. Josh Allen truly wasting his career in Buffalo? Or he's just not as good as Jalen Hurts. Look, I'm not going to crucify Josh Allen as much as I normally would for a loss like last night. The Houston Texans defense is the best in football. I wouldn't criticize Jalen Hurts for a loss like that. Well, I probably would, but I'd be defending him. But the Texans defense, they don't even give up 17 points a game on average. So, it is what it is. Good morning, Elephant. How you doing? I did not watch that game. It just goes to prove that elite defense is better than elite offense most of the time. That's what was proven last night. The Harden trade is paying dividends both times. Yeah, it is. What's up, Jimbo? How you doing this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm not in the damn mood. I just stuck up for Josh Allen to an extent. Jim Rome, I didn't even know Jim Rome was still around, to be honest with you. I have Dan Orlovsky, and I've got Jason Kelce comments to get into shortly here. But yeah. I think I'm catching something now. Jim, you through text messages, you got me sick. Great night in Philly sports last night. Flyers won too. God, I got to remember to give the Flyers love on this show more often. Organization leaving unhappiness with boring offense. Yeah, you should wish that you could trade for Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen is trash. This is not going to be an Eagles Cowboys preview. This is going to be a Josh Allen bashing show today. I love it. Makes me happy. Houston has not only one of the best defense, but probably the dopest jerseys. Their jerseys are pretty cool, Peanut. Good morning to you as well. That is true. There's a lot of different parts of the Sixers that can contribute at different times. They have to get it together with time and health, which they don't. Well, yeah, exactly. Paul George looked pretty solid last night at points, Nooms. Tyrese Maxey obviously did what Tyrese Maxey seems like he's going to do regularly, and that's just straight dominate. Phil, our Bills' playoff chances are sinking faster. Dude, I was just looking at the standings. You guys are close to being on the outside looking in. I would not have expected at this point in the season to have to question the Bills or the Ravens making the playoffs this year. And at least one's missing it. Eagles leaking unhappiness. There's only one unhappy person that I'm aware of in the Eagles organization, and that is A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown yesterday, when he spoke after practice, just complete and total ridiculous. Again, typical. And it's becoming a little exhausting that every day there's something new from A.J. Brown. He didn't want to be here. He should just take his ball and go home. Asked whether he pays attention to what other elite wide receivers are doing in the NFL. And A.J. Brown, and I quote, "No, I do not. It would upset me too much." Asked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts. Instead of saying that me and Jalen are good, he says, ask me about the Cowboys. A lot of the drama with A.J. Brown is brought on by A.J. Brown. Dan Orlovsky is what's trending. Dan Orlovsky, one of the many major national analysts that always criticizes Jalen Hurts week in and week out, day in and day out, came out yesterday on his show, said, look, I'm the biggest criticizer of him. He just wins. He's good. You know, when people like Dan Orlovsky are coming out of the woodwork in support of Jalen Hurts, you know there's something brewing there. Paul George, 21 points, not bad. And he only played 25 minutes last night. Why is Josh Allen trending with cheeks? I don't know. Is there a changing of the guard in the AFC? Are we witnessing a colossal shift? Yeah, you might be. The Colts, the Patriots, the Broncos. It might be the changing of the guard, Peanut, in the AFC. I mean, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow are all still pretty young. Hell, Patrick Mahomes is still fairly young, too, in the grand scheme of things. That they're not going to go away. They might be having down years. But you're seeing some new power try to push to the top of the AFC. It's interesting. While in the NFC, it's still just the Eagles and everybody else. AJ is a spoiled child. Well, he's acting like a child. He is. It's making doing sit-ups in your driveway look normal. Okay? He is a troll. 1,000% AJ Brown. A.J. Brown went to the school of Joel Embiid trolling. Yes. Absolutely. But at least when Joel Embiid trolled online, he still acted semi-normal to the media. He still said the right things. Paul George, or A.J. Brown, can simply end it all by just being honest. I side with Hurts over A.J. as long as you get them W's. Exactly. Wins are all that matters. How about the Bills finally getting out of the shadow of the New England, only to find themselves right back in it? Absolutely. Dak is not ready for our defense. Look, I hope not. I hope Jalen Carter sees him, feasts on him, and makes his shoulder pads explode when he hits them. But the numbers with Dak Prescott, he is the most unclutch quarterback in the NFL. Cannot win the big game. But I'm sure most of you have seen it, but I got to put it out there. Dak Prescott, in his last 23 games against the NFC East at home in Dallas, is 21-2. If Jalen Hurts had a stat like that, we'd be praising it. But we just assume we're going to beat the Cowboys because we're better. 21-2 Dak at home against the combined Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. The last time Dak Prescott lost at home, starting a football game against an NFC opponent, 2017, against the Eagles, which, you know, says something right there. Just think about that. 21-2 against three opponents over, I don't know, what's 23 games? That's like 10 and a half, 11 years. No, not that many. 7.5, whatever. Math's not my strong point. It's still crazy. Chiefs and Bills will still be deep in playoffs. Patriots and Broncos wild cards. I mean, it probably plays out that way, to be brutally honest with you. Didn't the NFL change to an entertainment business? Isn't this part of, so he's just entertaining. Got you. He got you. I understand. He's got to help the league make more entertainment dollars. He went to the school of The Rock, how to cut a promo. Gotcha. What WWE wrestler, past or present, would represent A.J. Brown's style the most? Trolling style the most? What time is Eagles game? It's all I have to look forward to. 4:25. We'll be live here by 4 p.m. the latest, okay? That's the thing. Even if A.J. stops, the media will continue to poke the bear. So the bear would stop being poked if you gave him a reason not to be poked, okay? He doesn't have to troll. The other day last week, Wednesday or whatever it was, and he was open and honest with things. You could do that, or you could just quick answers. Me and Jaelan are fine. Yeah. Now, I don't really pay attention to other wide receivers because I'm focusing on our game plan this week and getting this team better. A.J. Brown could answer these questions to the media easier when the questions stop. A.J. has already spoken about his mental health issues. I'm wondering if he's going through some dark times. Mental health has ebbs and flows. I noticed a change in him after the Super Bowl. It's very possible. And he spends a lot of time helping and worrying about other people's mental health, obviously. He's got a huge campaign about check in on your teammates. I wonder if anybody's checking in on him. It's very possible. So you think A.J. Brown will cost us the game because he takes plays off? I mean, he could cost us a game at some point. Absolutely. It could happen. Man, I really think Jim got me sick through text messages the other day. The refs always play a factor. Yeah. We want 869. We want 870. We want 900. Can we find a way to get to 900? Guys, like, subscribe, share, vote on the poll question. Aren't trolls supposed to be somewhat funny? AJ is the opposite of funny. That is true. He's more of a heel in wrestling, funny, with the way he acts. AJ likes the attention. He wants the glory now that he has the ring. I don't know if trolling and getting the type of attention that he's getting is the type of attention he really wants, or maybe it is what he wants, but it's not going to bring him glory. I mean, you think about the easiest comparison for us Eagles fans, that's Terrell Owens. Had plenty of drama. God forbid if there was social media when he was playing here, right? And how was his reputation? And how did he look? He left the Eagles, had to go to the Cowboys and other teams and sort of rework his whole reputation because of the way he acted here in Philly. Why don't you alter those DAC stats for when he actually went against the other teams? Number one, I'm just reading the stat that was put out by a beat reporter. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Wins are wins, right? Isn't that what we talk about with Jalen Hurts? Wins that are what matters, right? You can only beat the opponent in front of you. You can't discredit the Texans' win because Josh Allen sucks. The Texans still won last night. It counts as a win. Troll is ball breaking. I don't think he's ball breaking. I think he's just got that. I don't know. I can't. It's not ball breaking. That's for sure. He amuses you. He's funny. He's funny like a clown. He's not funny like a clown at all. If AJ costs us an actual game, man, I don't want to see Philly reaction. Don't blame. Dude, I'm sneezing and I got so much gook in me this morning. It's ridiculous. I didn't even do anything but go to the food store yesterday. Didn't even leave my house. He's throwing whatever's on his mind at the moment. He has no filter, right? We all have interactions throughout our day where we're frustrated and we think of a sarcastic answer at work to a coworker or a boss or a client. Me, when I used to have customers, always want to say certain things. Screw you. But we put our filter on and we say, sorry about that. Have a great day. He doesn't have to say have a great day, but he's got to do something differently. The OC would be completely lost with AJ. Lost without AJ? I don't know. He's doing a Ben Simmons. He'll just kick and cry to get where he wants to go, which is why we need to be boss and send him his whiny ass to Cleveland. For some reason, he wants to go back to working with Mike Vrabel, and I don't get that. I mean, the Patriots look good this year, but they haven't won shit yet. If your goal is glory, you're not guaranteed glory with the Patriots. You're already getting glory with the Eagles. Dak wins, but he only won 2 playoff games. Oh, I'm not saying Dak's a good quarterback. Right now, you look at the poll, 16 votes in early here, 15 minutes into this show. Yes, the Eagles will win, 69%. No, 31%. This is an Eagles channel, okay? And the vote is much closer than it normally is. Why? Not because the Cowboys are this great team, but the Eagles aren't playing well yet. We've got drama and the Cowboys numbers. It's in Dallas. It's always a close game. It's when you internalize that shit is when your mental health suffers. So letting it out's good. But on the flip side, you still got a job to do. Okay? This goes back to the conversation from last week. If you need a way to let it out, that's why you should be speaking to somebody. Speaking to a therapist. Remember when you, Douglas, got in a fist fight with Terrell Owens? Who do you think can beat A.J. Brown up, Lane Johnson or Brandon Graham? I do not actually remember T.O. and you, Douglas, getting in a fight. Must have missed that one. Although A.J. Brown was 2004, and I spent a huge chunk of 2004 working on a cruise ship. So maybe I missed that. I was 03, 04. I was working on cruise ship. So maybe I missed that because I was only watching ESPN, and the internet wasn't as good as it was now. Pats look good, and May passes the ball a lot. That's what he wants. He thinks the grass is greener on the other side of that fence. And guess what, Duck? The grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. Sometimes the grass is very brown or dried out or dying. Sometimes it won't grow. I don't know why AJ would want to go to an unproven commodity when he's been able to go to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and win one. And yes, some years his stats suffer. Some years he has great years. But even his down years are still pretty damn good outside of this year. And he was asked by the media that there were reports that people think he's lost a step. And his answer, instead of just blowing that off, he's like, well, I guess Saquon Barkley has lost a step. You know, hold on. Let me read this here. I don't remember the fight, and I was on the internet all day like a lot of teens of that era. Yeah, like 2004 era internet, though, wasn't what it is now. So it was different. Oh, man, this is going to be a long show. You know, I sit here and think we just assume that AJ is going to be gone in the offseason. I don't know how many of you actually listened to the Jason Kelce video that was floating around from WIP. I think it was yesterday morning or yesterday midday. And he was talking about the end of the Chip Kelly era and how there was drama in their locker room and how he and Lane Johnson were going back and forth in the media with frustrations about Chip Kelly practice routines. Okay? Lane Johnson, or Jason Kelce said, these kind of frustrations like AJ and Jaelan are having happen throughout a season sometimes. He said he and Lane Johnson didn't speak for an entire offseason, and they are literally best friends. He said him and Jeff Stoutland had fights, vicious arguments on how to do things, and he considers Jeff Stoutland a father figure. So this AJ Jaelan drama that we have created here, or he has created, or Jaelan has created, this is just part of being a team. You're in a locker room together for how long of a season? This happens, right? So maybe, just maybe, they figure it out. They're not talking right now, fine. Maybe this offseason and his godson's birthday, maybe they figure it out. They work it out. This Eagles organization is better with AJ than without AJ. Targets per play. Dallas Goedert 21, or is that 0.21? All right, so they're all getting the same amount of targets per play. The offense just isn't moving the ball. It would take like 9 hours to load a music video. It would, man. And then you download it off of Napster. I remember this one thing. I downloaded a Dave Matthews song off of Napster once, and it wasn't a Dave Matthews song. It was some local artist that had uploaded it with the name Dave Matthews. I forget who it was, but I ended up going out and finding them and listening to them. They were really good. So they're scamming me. Got them a new listener at that time. AJ is just looking for a sweet young thing. You know, my friends have nice things now. I want what they have without know what the deal actually is. Yeah, that might be it. I was away in the Army, and I remember that fight. It was 2005 after the Super Bowl run. 05, okay. Maybe I was around. Interesting. I don't remember it. Sorry, targets per snap played. I thought that's what you meant by that. I figured that's how it played out, for sure. Considering Dallas Goedert missed a game, A.J. Brown's missed a game, I figured it was per snap played too. So, I just don't remember the Hugh Douglas fight with Terrell Owens. But anyway, it's beside the point. It just really is. Oh, I had so many burned CDs back in the day. I literally burned through 3 Gateway, or what were they? Gateway computers in college, just probably because of the amount of downloading I did off of Napster. It was before I was in college, before LimeWire. It was Napster. Look, back to Eagles Cowboys. Back to the Eagles drama. I know everybody wants the Eagles drama to be put to bed this week by having this huge offensive explosion, by dominating, blowing out the Cowboys. And let me tell you something. If you're going to get the offense right, this is the week to do it. 31st in the league in points given up. 29.3 points per game the Cowboys give up. Almost 250 passing yards a game. Almost 400 yards total per game. If your offense is going to get right, this is the week to do it. The question is, can they? Will they? I remember making the transition from mixtapes to mix CDs. So do I. Don't leave out Kazaa. I forgot about Kazaa. My bad. McCain is starting to cut better off the ball. Again, we got 1 episode left in The Beast Within Me. It's a great show. It really is. So I didn't watch much. I watched a few minutes of the first half, a few minutes of the second half. Just win, baby. Keith, that's all that matters. Winning is all that matters. We get away from that. The Buffalo fans are probably out there today complaining about the team and not Josh Allen because they lost. I'm pretty sure nobody in Houston is complaining about the offensive stat line after beating the Bills last night to keep their playoff push and get their 3rd win in a row. Back in line. Wins are what matters. The Eagles win. Now, Dak Prescott wins a lot at home against the East. It is what it is. Do I think that 21-2 is a little overblown? Probably. But wins are wins, right? If our offense stinks again this week, I'm done. We need to figure out something soon. So if the Eagles' offense, just theoretically speaking, Jim, you're going to be done if the Eagles win on Sunday 17-3. 17-3 means the Eagles' offense stinks. When you go up against a defense that gives up almost 30 points a game, you only score 17. The offense stinks. But we beat the Cowboys and pretty much lock up the division. No offense, I hate this. I'm done. If we win, that's all that matters. That's what matters. You know you're not done. We are never done. Yeah, we are never done. We are never done. We will always keep cheering on our team. That, for sure, is accurate. Guys, there's only 10 likes on this video. Guys, if you have not, hit that like button. 19 votes, but 10 likes. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. Yeah, he's never done. He wants to complain or say he's done, but he's not done. The only way you are winning without AJ is if you get at least 85% value back, like DJ Moore or something like that. You know, if you're moving AJ, that also means you're probably drafting a wide receiver in the 1st or 2nd round when you need tight end, offensive line, edge rush, cornerback. You need a lot of other things in the draft. I wonder, and I don't want to get too deep into the offseason with or without A.J. Brown. I wonder if their plan is to keep Jahan Dotson and move on from A.J. Brown. Maybe that was the long play. I think Jahan Dotson, as a free agent, will want big money and we won't keep him, but just throwing that idea that's floated in my mind that they didn't trade Jahan Dotson on an expiring contract because they're making him number 2 next year. Just one of those theories that I've had. Ideally, what would AJ get us in return? That's really hard to say. How desperate a team gets. We got the number 18 overall pick for him, or we gave up the number 18 overall pick for him. Is AJ Brown, with the drama he's created, worth a first-round pick? I don't know. Maybe you get a first-round pick, a back-end first-round pick, maybe like a team like the Patriots, it's going to be like 2022. I think more realistic is like a second and a fourth. Teams are going to look at the Eagles and be like, yeah, we'll take AJ off your hands. We'll take your drama, but we're not paying a premium. He's older. He's got drama. I think we will be utterly shocked at how little, a.k.a. not a first-round pick, an A.J. Brown trade would get us. Maybe a third and a player? I don't know. I think his value is a lot lower in the trade market than people realize. We need to first-round right tackle. We do. Absolutely. I would love to get a first for A.J. and then use that first and our first to move up to get a better right tackle even. Dotson big money is different than A.J. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. He's going to want to go somewhere that he's going to start, but if we get rid of A.J. Brown, then he would start here and get more targets. So Dotson was insurance. And if you lose A.J., that insurance pays off if you keep him, right? 2 firsts. You're not getting 2 firsts for A.J. Brown. Not in the least. The more drama, the less we get for him for sure. And I really, truly believe that. Maybe he's tanking his own value to be one final big middle finger to the Eagles, right? Hell yeah, we could get a first and a third. They don't give up that money, then we keep his ass. But do you understand my opinion? That New England's looking at the Eagles right now. AJ wants to come here. He wants out of there. The Eagles are tired of the drama. Jalen Hurts is tired of the drama. He ain't giving up any premium for him. They want him gone. We'll take your trouble, but we ain't giving you. We're giving you 90 cents on the dollar. Is it possible that AJ isn't good as he once was? He was asked about that yesterday. Has he just lost a step? And he said, well, I guess Saquon Barkley has lost a step too. I really think the hamstring is an issue for A.J. Brown. I really do. I think the hamstring is still not 100%. It's good enough to play, but it's not 100%. Okay? And while I hate the fact that he doesn't run plays out, maybe that has something to do with why he doesn't run every play out. Maybe. Well, if A.J. gets hurt to the point he is out, everyone will get a preview. Yeah, absolutely. We have been dealing with A.J. problems for years now. What's another year? It's true. It's true. As long as we keep winning, winning does not create good content. Losing or drama does. So at least all the drama is creating good content, right? I'd encourage folks to monitor AJ's routes versus man coverage. It would explain a lot. Why? I just want a little bit more detail. I'm not going to Google it right now on the spot. I'm curious of why you say that. Okay? Give me some more details on that, please. What's different about the runs versus man versus zone? If he's still hurt, he should stay out till the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. AJ is bringing up Saquon as a bad point. There's a difference between a struggling halfback and a struggling wide receiver. There's a difference between a struggling running back who put up 2,000 yards, only the 8th player in NFL history to do that, and a wide receiver that just had a good year last year and a down year this year. Eagles have been less transparent than typical with injuries this year. Yeah, there's actually definitely something there. Shocked that Cam Jurgens had a concussion. Cam Jurgens practiced. It looks like Cam Jurgens will be back on the field for Sunday's game, which is good. He is definitely not winning. But is he not winning because he's older and he lost a step? Or is he not winning at the line of scrimmage or in his break-offs of his routes because he can't push off on that hammy, or he's not confident enough in the hammy to push off. He still won Hall of Fame, and sitting out will not help his argument. Yeah, exactly. Look, if all is well in Eagles land, this very well should be the week that the Eagles get their offense right. But we've seen nothing. We've heard nothing. We've seen nothing to believe that they will get themselves right this week. AJ not winning because he can't push off the hammy. And I really think that that might be part of it. I mean, it is November 21st. If it was the hammy, wouldn't you think someone on the team would have pointed it out and made him get 100%? I don't know. I don't know, but he's having a mental breakdown about it. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. And I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing that that could be really part of the problem. Part of that same tape feels like the defense also knows what is coming. Oh, with the offense. Okay. Thinking of Eagles defense. I'm like, what? What does the Eagles defense have to do with it? No. Opposing defenses know what's coming. Now, I really wonder, Nooms, how much blame Kevin Patullo deserves. But on the flip side, how much better Kevin Patullo would look if a couple things. If the offensive line was healthy and AJ was running plays out. Because there's at least 3 touchdowns that have been left off the board this year because of AJ not running plays out. At least 3. Okay? And those big plays would open up the rest of the offense. So I wonder how much of him taking plays off, how much of that hamstring is affecting the effectiveness of what Kevin Patullo is doing. Look, Kevin Patullo's play design and schemes look terrible when you rewatch them. Wide receivers running into each other. Wide receivers running the same route 1 yard from each other. From the flip side, there's a lot of things wrong other than A.J. Brown drama that might be affecting Kevin Patullo. Maybe Kevin Patullo is actually really good, and we just don't know because his car needs an oil change. AJ is always taking plays off. He's still playing physical. He's just not getting that push off the line that gave him the advantage. That push off the line, his ability to push off a wide receiver, it's just not the same. Look at the plays called and when it was called. This bag of burning crap is on his front porch. I think it's interesting. This is like the perfect week to fix it, to silence the critics. But we don't have the confidence that it's actually going to happen. And that's the problem, right? There is no confidence. We're still stuck at only 10 likes. There's 16 people watching. There's only 10 likes. Guys, hit that like button. Other than a few things in the red zone and the fullback dive with Saquon at fullback, I don't see very, very many differences. If curl route guy was here, he would have a point. Yeah. I agree. His situational play calling is awful. I can't disagree. But how much of that play calling is affected because of the other things? I'm not making an excuse for Kevin Patullo. I'm trying to figure out whether the excuses that can be made are valid or not. Well, if A.J. Brown runs out that play week 1, that's a huge completion. If A.J. Brown runs out that play on Sunday night against the Lions, that's a big 70-yard touchdown or whatever it was. That changes the play calling. How much of it is drama? How much of it is Kevin Patullo? And how much of it is injuries? They're the 3 things holding this offense back. Maybe Patullo's not calling plays for AJ because he takes plays off. You know, if you don't give me, well, I should put it in the past. If you worked for me in the past and you weren't given 100% every shift, your next schedule would have less hours on it, right? But I don't have to worry about that anymore. Will the Eagles win on Sunday? 1-6 in Arlington. Dak 21-2 versus the division. Dude, I forgot about the 1-6 in Arlington part. I did put the 21-2 stat out there. I did. All those things. But yes, they still win on Sunday. That's a very strong possibility. That's the thing. All the stats tell me, Jonathan, and good morning to you. All the stats tell me the Eagles are going to lose this game. All the things I've seen tell me the Eagles are going to lose this game. But deep down inside, I still think the Eagles win. The best stats were 5-0 with Kelly Green. Guess what? We're wearing Kelly Green again. The Cowboys are 4-5-1, right? Their 4 wins are against the Giants barely, the Jets, and the Commanders, and the Raiders. They haven't beaten a single good team. And their offense, which scores 29.6 points per game, second in the league. 40 points against those Giants, 37 against the Jets, 40 against Green Bay in a tie. All their big scoring games are in their wins. Their losses, 20, 14, 27, 24, 17. When they lose, it's because another team's defense shuts them down. So as much as we want the offense to get right, another dominating performance from our defense this week ensures us another win. Patullo, Sirianni has a problem with not using shorter plays. He can't string together plays that make sense. He gets spooked when one of his plays doesn't work. You know what they got to do to fix that? Is they got to get the offense moving. Up tempo. No huddle. Let Jaelan and company just go out there and have a 16-play drive that takes 3 minutes because they're just humming along. That gets the offense on track. That gets a rhythm back. That gets that connection back. It gets that fire burning again. Most of the taking plays off allegations I've seen people try to assert online were him ball tracking. He sure didn't take the play off where he was blocking for Barkley. No, I know. And he still plays hard. And I know you want to say he's ball tracking. And maybe he is. But it looks an awful lot like taking plays off. When he slowed down on Sunday night, when he slowed his route down, if you go back and look, he slowed down before he turned around looking for the ball. Tracking the ball means you turn around as you're running down the field. I don't see it. Let me just slow down and try to catch an eye. Most of his taking plays off, you're calling it ball tracking. The slowdown happens before he turns around. I think Patullo calls plays, but they get changed by Hurts. So you're saying Jalen Hurts has to do with the offensive play calling. That's interesting. It may be accurate, Adam. I don't know. But there's a lot less people that feel this way than the other way. Maybe we need to bench AJ for beginning game like the Cowboys did to their wide receivers. Yeah. What happened there? CeeDee Lamb got caught puking at a casino or something like that a few hours before the game on Sunday. That's a winning organization right there. Or after his role of clear out was done, I've seen Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Justin Jefferson do extremely similar stuff. The lens needs to evaluate others as well. Absolutely true. That's the same argument with quarterbacks with Josh Allen doesn't get criticized, but Jalen Hurts does. And I'm sure Justin Jefferson and Mike Evans and Keenan Allen and Terry McLaurin and name 100 other wide receivers probably take plays off. You're getting the ball 10 out of 60 times your way. I get it. But they're not on my team, Nooms. I'm evaluating my team. And a guy on my team's taking plays off. And the drama annoys me. Pisses me off. But taking plays off annoys me 100 times more. Not running routes out annoys me. Not running a ground ball out to first base annoys me. Not getting back on defense annoys me. Hurts had to have told him which plays he will throw to him no matter what. Why would he slow his routes? I don't know. He slows down because his hammy flared up. Well, then just say that. AJ doesn't do stupid stuff like Dallas wide receiver. This is talk. Other than that, he goes home and plays with his kids. And that is true. I mean, we're dealing with this drama. Could you imagine if the CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens shit happened in the Philadelphia area, like as part of the Eagles team? Oh, my God, they'd be getting crucified. Now, maybe Dallas radio is crucifying. I don't know. But I'm not hearing it on ESPN or mainstream media accounts. Then get 4 Greg Garrity's and smile. What? The Greg Garrity one's over my head. Way over my head with the Greg Garrity thing. Was he just a hustler? Mitchie Poo, go find me one right now. Stuck at 868 today. Had a nice little boost this week. I think finally some family and friends subscribed because they felt bad. I mean, becoming unemployed this week. Maybe. Tio and Ocho was similar. When they was playing, they had no off-field troubles that causes Dom to have to deal with. When are we going to get T.O. or T.O.'s? A.J. Brown. When are we going to get A.J. Brown to want to change his name? Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Is that what we're running towards? Are we running towards T.O. changes his name? That's the most annoying shit. National media is all over us, yet not talking about the dumbasses in Dallas. Yeah. That 68 was there last night. I know. He's missed the number change. Like the last I think he's only got one screenshot. I think it was 769. But 669, 569, and 469 he missed. It's been sitting there, just percolating, waiting for that to happen in the screenshot from Mitchie Poo. Childish. But it is what it is. But back to Jim's point. At least one guy in the media yesterday, Dan Orlovsky, went out there and changed his tune. Said, look, I criticize Jalen Hurts more than most. And it's so disrespectful because all he does is win. And that's the thing that matters the most. Stop reminding everyone that you are unemployed and talking to a bunch of other losers in your basement. Well, I'm hoping if, maybe someone will be like, oh, I feel bad for you. Here, let me get you a job. A high-paying job or something like that. Say it loud. Dallas sucks. Todd. Good morning. Todd. This is what we should be talking about. Our favorite Dallas Cowboys Eagles memories. How can we beat the pants off the Cowboys? We've mentioned Jalen Carter not playing week 1 because of the spitting incident. Like twice all week. And how much revenge he's probably got on his mind. We are so not focused on the actual game and our hatred of the Dallas Cowboys because of drama. Some real, some created by the media. And it's kind of frustrating that we're losing focus on what matters this week. Maybe Lamb and Pickens was hanging with Michael Irvin at the casino. Maybe. I don't know what they were doing. But supposedly one got sick. I mean, Hurts does what most quarterbacks should do, but do not play within their limits. Yeah. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make him not an elite quarterback. Pushing the limits, making mistakes, that causes losses. They stopped them again. That is still the greatest play in Eagles-Cowboys history, in my opinion. 4th and 2, times 2. The greatest play. Very close second. Donovan to Fred X for that huge play. It's a huge statement from Dan Orlovsky. And, Dan Orlovsky was always one of my dream guests to get on a podcast. Even hit him up once, I got no answer, whatever. But then he became a Hurts hater. And I'm like, you know what, honestly, I don't even want him on the show because we do too much battle. But I gain a lot of respect for people when they admit their mistakes and admit they were wrong. He was wrong. He's admitted it. That I respect. Hey, Josh Allen has 258 passing yards yesterday and lost and 2 interceptions. Don't forget about the 2 interceptions. Those fans want that or 100 yards in a win. And now those 58 yards, like almost 50 of those yards were on that late hook and lateral that went like 50 yards. I think it was like 48 yards. So really barely threw for over 200, just so you know. What's your thoughts on Derek Gunn comment about Jalen Hurts? Look, we talked about the Derek Gunn rumors yesterday a bit. I don't want to disrespect Derek Gunn because Derek Gunn is on the Mount Rushmore of Eagles media. But Derek Gunn has become a clickbait person. He hasn't had a real job at a real media site for like 5 years. Derek Gunn has also always had an anti-Jalen Hurts agenda. Derek Gunn's comments might be valid, but were phrased wrong. Derek Gunn is doing what he's got to do to stay relevant. Maybe now's a good time to get him on the show. Maybe. Maybe I should try again. I mean, I've never had a problem DMing people 4 or 5 times in a row without getting a response. Who cares? I don't think A.J. Brown won't be an Eagle. I don't think A.J. Brown won't be. So hold on. I'm trying to do the math on the double negatives. So you think A.J. will be here next year? I think it's about 50-50 right now. Josh Allen last night had 70% completion, 253. Yeah, those are decent numbers, but the most important part is the loss. Wins? The Bills are falling behind in their division. They needed a win last night. And guess what? As always, well, almost always, the home team won on Thursday Night Football again because the road team's always at a disadvantage. Dallas is just irrelevant. That's it completely. It's sad and yet satisfied. Even if they won the next 4, they would still have so many holes. Is that why Dallas sucks week just doesn't have the same gas nooms? Because the Cowboys have been an irrelevant franchise for so long, realistically an irrelevant franchise, they may have won a division, a couple years ago, but they really had no chance come playoff time. Does the lack of success for Dallas under the last couple hours, Dak and Tony Romo, take the sting or the fire out of Dallas week? I mean, I talked about this earlier this year. Is it really Washington, the real rival? Not this year, but in general. Guns are just clickbaiting it now. I think they are. Let me put Gunn in perspective. Gunn loves love over Hurts. Yeah. And there's still a lot of people that still think that. And it's so wrong. I even saw Skip Bayless talking how great the Eagles' defense is. I don't want Skip Bayless' stench anywhere near the Eagles. He should never utter their name, please. Skip kissed the ring, and so did Collinsworth. Texans were on a slide, and Bills couldn't put them away. That was the Texans' 3rd win in a row, actually. I don't know if people realize that. They're starting to turn their season around. Good morning, Bruce. Hope you're doing well this morning. Dallas really think they're going to win Sunday. You know, honestly, I wrote 5 score predictions down, potentially. I still haven't picked one yet. 2 of them are Cowboys wins. One of the 2 I've settled in on. I got 2 predictions written down that my eyes keep going to. One of them is a Cowboys win. Most weeks, this poll question, will the Eagles beat the Cowboys? Yes or no? Would normally, because we are an Eagles channel, would be 90-10 Eagles. We're right now at 76% yes, 24% no. Dallas, we're playing better, would make this week harder, but we played them earlier in the season and beat them without our best defensive player. And that's true. You know, I had the box score. I switched to something else. I'll pull the box score from that Sunday game or that Thursday night game up in a minute. I don't know. I could see the Eagles winning by 2 scores. I could also see them losing a close one. I could. I feel Dallas is a good rival, but they are usually very bad, so they are not a great rival. And I feel like that might be what's happening. I feel like the fact that Dallas hasn't been a real true threat in the NFL, while they're America's team, they're really not America's team anymore. So they only get national attention because of what Jerry Jones says. Well, when we're not getting attention, I do something crazy just to keep us in the headlines. So maybe that's why the rivalry has lost some of its juice over the years, I guess. Is juice the right word? I don't know. But maybe that has something to do with it. Jordan Love is the poster boy for mediocrity. I mean, he's not as good as people say he is. That is for sure. But so is Justin Herbert, the poster boy for it. There's a lot of guys out there. Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott. There's a lot of mediocre quarterbacks. that get hyped way massively over Jalen Hurts. And it's disrespectful, Elephant. Dallas could actually win because it will probably be a close game. Yeah. Again, it's the ultimate collision. Elite offense versus elite defense. What wins? But again, that elite offense has only put up big numbers for Dallas against bad football teams. Their wins are against bad football teams. Their losses are against average and sometimes good teams. I mean, they lost against the Cardinals. I mean, Jonathan Gannon's defense held them to 17 points. I mean, they lost to Carolina. It's not a knock on Carolina, but it is. Chicago held them to 14. We've already held them to 20 without Jalen Carter. Well, I predict the final score will be 27-24 Eagles. I think that was one of the scores I wrote down. I did write that as one of my scores down, but I don't think I'm settled on that. But I think it's a very possible score outcome. Can we all agree that Patullo is the problem, even though we're 8-2? I don't think we've agreed on that, Todd. We spent a lot of time earlier in the show talking about that. How much of it, the offensive woes, is Patullo's play calling? How much of it is the Eagles' offensive line? And how much of it is A.J. Brown not running routes out? There's blame to go around for the offense. I think the drama could make the difference in the game if we lose. Well, if we lose, the drama is going. We're not good. If we lose, it's going to be 24-20. It's going to be 2017, something like that, which means not a lot of offense, right? Which means if we lose this game, we're not going to lose this game 35-31, and the offense is going to look great, but the defense falls apart. If we lose this game, it will be the ultimate wake-up call of the offense. It's something has to change. If we lose this game because we don't put up enough points, like we score not a lot, the offense will have major, massive changes next week. And maybe that's what this team needs. Eagles defense is better now than we were in week one. We have Carter, Dean, and Smith, and then we added Phillips. Absolutely. Absolutely. Only 12 likes. How do we have 26 votes on the poll, but only 12 likes? Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, share. Come on. Flyers are so odd this year. They have played 19 games this year and have only won 3 regulation and 2 overtime games. I really wonder how that bodes for the place we haven't been in 5 years. I don't know. I don't know about that. They're still learning. No expectations is what I have. I saw Jerry Jones in Landmine, and now I feel there's one thing he does that he's even worse than owning the Cowboys. I've never watched Landmine. I heard it's a great show. But yeah, I don't get Paramount Plus. So interesting. He was acting in that. Did he play himself? Elite O versus Elite D. Whoever wins the trenches is in most cases. And our defensive line, pardon my French, is fucking amazing. Okay? What's up, Nina? Good morning to you. Hope you are well this fine, beautiful morning. What is Noobs talking about? Flyers have 10 wins this season. That's why I didn't really comment on it. Is Tyrese Maxey starting to learn to carry his team? Todd, Tyrese Maxey is doing what I expected him to do last year. Develop into an elite superstar in the NBA. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to just straight dominate this league for a long time. Dallas has no idea what's about to hit them. Rick, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. So how much blame is on Jalen Hurts? And I think this is I'm a very pro Jalen Hurts guy, Nina. Yes, I deflect a lot of the blame. I'll admit it. I wear Jalen Hurts rose glasses, but I try occasionally to bring up his negatives. Okay? He's not negative, his negatives. How much of the lack of the offense success is on Jalen Hurts? And I don't know. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes the plays. He's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL on 3rd and 4th down. Number 1 quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. On paper, Jalen Hurts on paper is having statistically one of his best years ever. But yet, there's still drama on offense. It still doesn't look right. How much of it's on Jalen Hurts? I don't think there's a lot. But if you feel there's a reason, Nina, that there should be more blame on him, I'd be very open to hear your opinion on it. The problem is that there are several problems. But if Patullo called better plays, think that's a big issue off the plate, which helps other problems get better. It's on the coordinator to call the plays, to make up for A.J. Brown, to make up for the offensive line. So it starts with the coaches, 100%. A lot of blame over the last 4 weeks for Jalen Hurts. Well, also, on the flip side, Duck, a lot of blame over the last 4 weeks on Jalen Hurts that resulted in 4 wins. So the Eagles are fine. Stop the panic, for goodness sake. I don't think anybody's panicking. I don't think anybody's panicking on the Eagles fan base right now. If anything, we're frustrated with the drama. Rick, I said this, and we all agreed on it earlier in the show before you joined the chat. This is the F Dallas week. This is Dallas sucks week. And we're so focused on the drama instead of what's important. Focusing our hatred on the Dallas Cowboys. This frustration with the drama. Let's turn it into Cowboys bashing. Would an Eagles blowout win shock anyone? No. Would a loss against a home team that needs a win more than we do? No. It would be difficult to get a shocking outcome from this game. I think it's great. It wouldn't be shocking if we lost, right? This is a huge game for Dallas. A, they don't want to lose twice to the Eagles. B, they're 4-5-1, and they're on the outside looking in. They need a win, right? So either thing could happen. Yes, he played himself, and it was so bad that me and my brother were laughing, even if it was supposed to be a serious time in the show. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I did not know that. I'm probably sure I could find just a clip online, and maybe I'll look it up later. Maxey is looking so good. Too bad there will be a lockout, and his best year will be yeah. I think Tyrese Maxey, you got to watch out for his minutes. The dude's going to be burned out. Dude probably leads the league in minutes played this year. There's a rumor that Sirianni's still calling the plays. I don't think he's physically calling the plays. I think he's got a heavy influence in the game plan and the plays that they're going to zone in on a given week, which is still a part of the problem. And I asked this, if you don't like Kevin Patullo's play calling, would you prefer Nick Sirianni to have the play sheet in his hand? And most people say no. It's not a rumor. It's his playbook and his guy. Well, he's not physically calling the plays. The Eagles will beat you however you want to fight. Absolutely. And I have no problem, Rick. Yeah, like I said this earlier in the show, Rick. You think anybody in Houston is complaining about Davis Mills' stat line last night? Or are they celebrating a win over the Buffalo Bills? They're like 140, 150 yards. The defense won that game last night. And they're probably super pumped. Yet if we win a game 16-9, Eagles fans lose their shit. Some fans say that all that matters is the wins, but those same fans also want to push the narrative that Hurts is an MVP candidate. Well, all that matters is wins. And yes, Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate in my eyes. And yes, maybe I'm a little blinded by my appreciation for Jalen Hurts. But his quarterback rating, his touchdown to turnover ratios, yeah, he doesn't put up 5,000 yards and a 9-8 or 10-7 season, does not deserve an MVP. To me, 3,500 yards and few turnovers and 12 wins, 13 wins is what an MVP is. What's up? My name's Phil. If you don't know my name, I'm Phil. Good morning. Everybody, make sure you've liked, subscribed, and shared. Please. A win by 21 on Sunday. My biggest blowout score I've got 5 scores written down here, Rick. My biggest blowout is a 17-point. I don't think that that's what I'm going to choose. But it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me at all. Just like a Dallas hatred and when they were last any good. Like late 90s. Yeah. We hated them more when they were better than us. Go Birds, but they better win because if not, this will be the downfall. This could be losing to the Cowboys could be a downfall. I'm not disregarding that. But my positive spin on your comment is instead of the downfall, maybe it's the wake-up call, the smack in the face that they'll need. Do you actually think the entire playbook is open to Hurts? At times, maybe. Do you not think that the entire playbook isn't open because we've only had our starting offensive line twice this year? Do you not think that Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens playing injured all the time affects the play calls? Affects the effectiveness of the play calls? I'm not taking the blame off of Jalen Hurts. But I think out of all parties involved in the offense, Jalen Hurts deserves the least amount of criticism. Unfortunately, Maxey still has the hand down, man down thing hanging over his head. It's hard to get a clutch bucket in the playoffs in the last 20 seconds when you're 6'2". Yeah, absolutely agree. His size will always be an issue. Well, JJ was oil field equipment sales guy, so it makes sense. I've never watched Landmine. I wish I had Paramount Plus. All time, the Eagles have a better winning percentage in AT&T Stadium than Dallas does. That's interesting. It's a good little pull. As long as Maxey becomes a better distributor, he's got, 7.5, 8 assists a game? He's doing a good job at it this year. I'm sick of the drama. AJ is childish, immature, and petty. My stance is he is jealous of what Jaelan is, Jaelan has, and Jaelan does, plus a Saquon and Jalen's chemistry. I like that. I've thought about that. I've thought about that before. How do you say your name? Ms. Aveline? I've thought about that. Jalen Hurts and Saquon weren't best friends when Saquon got here. For the last year and a half, they've gotten closer. And while they've gotten closer, AJ's kind of grown apart from his boy. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Maybe there is a little jealousy. I mean, it's a reach, but I don't think it's that far of a reach. Why is Saquon having such a down year? The offensive line. Big part of it. And he's tired. He ran a lot. Blocking. The offensive line's hurt. It's a big deal. If AJ actually ran his routes fully, he would catch those balls. AJ Brown's stats would be a lot better than they are right now if he had 3 more bomb touchdowns that he didn't catch because he didn't run plays out. Maxey will be fine. Do you think Jordan ever worried about minutes played? Come on. Jordan was a much bigger, more athletic body frame. Maxey's 6'2", a $110 soaking wet, playing 50 minutes a game and 55 minutes last night, but he's averaging like 40 minutes a game. It's not provoking the soft generation. It's just being honest to the grind of the NBA season, how much more physical it is, how much more flopping they do. 6'2" guy his size, he gets beat up every night. The Eagles fans go crazy when we win, only like 17-9, because they are used to the offense scoring tons of points. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles offense has been pretty great the last couple of years, and it's not this year. It's not putting up the numbers we want or expect. People keep calling for the firing of Patullo. They also bitch that the Eagles keep replacing O-coordinator. I mean, it's a fair statement, Nina. And that's why I kind of said I wouldn't have an issue if he stuck around another year. I don't think Patullo will be here next year. But I wouldn't be shocked if he is. And they'll spin it as, well, now we have another year of continuity to grow as a team and as an offense. And it's not the craziest thing. It's not the craziest thing at all. This is not going to be a downfall. The sky is not falling. This fan base loves to panic. No, I get it. I get what they're saying. A lot of fans want to compare this year to 2023, and it's not 2023. But I get the worry. We always argued about this with the Phillies. We've been pre-programmed to panic because for the majority of the last 100 years, Philadelphia sports has let us down a lot more than they've picked us up. I prefer to look at it, if they lost this week, it would be the wake-up call, not the downfall. They are not giving him enough of a hold for long enough. His time before first contact has been cut in half. Yeah, absolutely. Now, that's on the offensive line not being healthy, not being able to block, not being able to do their job. So it's the O-line and AJ, but not Hurts. No. It's the O-line. It's Kevin Patullo. It's AJ Brown. It's Jalen Hurts. It's Nick Sirianni. It's Saquon Barkley. There's plenty of room to blame. Jalen Hurts would be 4th or 5th on my list of blame, not number 1. Now, Jalen Hurts will tell you that it's all on him. And that's another thing I respect the hell out of him. Jalen Hurts will tell you the offensive struggles. The reason why our offense is the 25th ranked offense in football, 16th in points. It's all on him. He's got to do a better job. And you got to respect that he takes the blame. We need Kellen Moore back. Clearly the play calling is remedial. Kellen Moore has a better defense in New Orleans than he does offense at this point. What's up, Dante? Good morning. I'm trying to figure out why all the Hurts bashing. All he does is win. Good morning. I like how you put the good morning at the end. I agree. Jalen Hurts is the greatest thing that's happened in Philly in a long time, and we don't realize it. Maxey just drops 54 in the Sixers comeback win, and people worried about Maxey. I mean, you are not 1% worried that Tyrese Maxey, who was hurt a lot last year, is playing too many minutes. Come on. What other MVP types have the playbook not completely opened up to them? See, your definition of MVP is different than my definition of MVP then. Okay? My definition of MVP is a player so crucial to a team's success, you take them away, that team does not win as much. My definition of MVP is not who throws the most touchdowns or who has the flashiest offense. Who makes the big plays when it matters most, and Jalen Hurts makes those plays more often than not. Jalen Hurts is not free of criticism this year. Jalen Hurts is not the MVP this year. But he's a lot higher on the list than you probably think. Maxey has 500 points, 100 assists. How much more do you want him to pass the ball? Who cares if they are friends? You guys, I don't want anybody to be friends. I don't care about a bunch of friends. I am not friends with, well, I don't have a job right now, but when I did have a job and owned a restaurant, I didn't want my employees to be friends. I wanted them to get along and get the job done. And if they didn't, I figured a way around it. I had recently at the pizza shop, before we sold it, I had 2 high school girls working for me. They were in the same class, in the same school, whatnot. They were both juniors at the same school. They did not like each other. They hated each other. They actually worked terribly together. So when I would write the schedule, I'd make sure I keep them separated. Now, you can't separate A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. It's a different situation. But I did what I needed to do to make the job get done. Needs to implement the cross-court pass, entry passes into the game. Yeah. So do we want to trade A.J.? Want, need, or will? I don't want to trade A.J. Do we need to? Maybe. Will we? Probably. So the want, just going straight off of want's a tough one. Has anyone forgotten Jalen's loosen up my straitjacket a bit? Comment from last year, the playbook is not fully open to him. Yeah, I mean, and he said that this year too. Not that, something similar. I forget what he said earlier this year. But he said something earlier this year that he wants to be able to do more. Jordan is 4 inches taller than Maxey. What are we doing? Yeah, 4 inches is a lot in the NBA. At least I'm told 4 inches is a lot all the time. That makes sense because I'm sure Hurts was told the same thing as I was growing up. Make friends with those you want to be like. Hurts want to move up into the media-friendly area. I don't think he has any media things or misunderstanding that. Numbers don't matter, only wins. And that's what matters. You take Jalen Hurts off this team, they don't win as much. You need somebody that's going to make that clutch third down pass, that's going to get that first down on fourth down. When the national media is, the lights are brightest, they shine the biggest. I don't need Josh Allen's 5,000 passing yards. That's not an MVP to me. MVP to me is the ones that get the win. The absence of Lane Johnson makes me worry. We need him. I pray he does not need surgery. Yeah, they're still saying 4 to 6 weeks, which would mean no surgery. But I'd expect them to put him on IR today or tomorrow. They will activate either Willie Lampkin or Miles Hinton this week as well. There's a big issue. We obviously know the record, 13-25 in games Lane Johnson doesn't play in his career. Fred Johnson is 5-1 starting in his Eagles career, though. So that maybe crosses it out a little bit. Patullo is not getting fired and shouldn't get fired. They need to get him some help with coaches we know are good play callers. Yeah, I agree. Is it starting to feel like 23? Because our defense in 23 was actually the bigger problem in 23. 8th ranked offense in 23, just so you know. 23, we didn't have Vic Fangio, okay, leading the charge. We didn't have Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in 2023. We had Sean Desai and Matt Patricia battling out for power. So I put most of the blame on 23 on the defense and whoever on that defense or whoever was making the decisions of changing the play callers on defense. They said Patullo is going to be a head coach next year. It's crazy that he's on that list. But it's not crazy. We talked about this yesterday, Todd. When an organization in football or in any sport sucks, what do? They look at the regular teams playing for the championship and say, how can we be like them? And you know what they say? Well, let me steal one of their coaches, and maybe they'll bring that winning culture here. We are going to lose potentially Kevin Patullo. We're going to lose one of Hunt and Parker, the D-line and the cornerbacks coach, Christian Parker and Hunt. We're going to lose coaches again this offseason. Maybe it is Kevin Patullo. Maybe an organization that sucks says we need that winning attitude in here. Jordan Davis, first Eagles ever to, I talked about this yesterday. It's crazy. Because most great defensive players don't play special teams also. Jordan Davis is having quietly his best season. Well, maybe not even quietly. He's having his best season ever. Easily. And the pocket passes need to improve. We're talking about what's needed for a ring, not for a Jonas Bucks team in November. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I think it's a maturity thing. Jaelan is so grounded, a man, stoic. He vibes better with Saquon, another leader, a father, a dude who wants to win. Yeah, Jalen Hurts and Saquon. Jalen Hurts wants A.J. Brown to be like him. Not care about stats, just care about winning. Put the logo over the name, right? The Eagles shield over your individual success, right? And A.J. Brown wants to be the best, and I respect that. But it doesn't come at the expense of the team. And Jalen and Saquon think that way. Great time to be a Philadelphia sports fan. Breathe in, and appreciate the universe will reward that thinking. I am. Even though that thinking didn't work for you with the Phillies, but I am. Call Dougie P. I think right now in the middle of the season, Dougie P would create more drama, bringing him in than not, but maybe. AJ is putting up a Scottie Pippen syndrome. Was Scottie Pippen this grouchy? Maybe later in his career? Maybe. The thing with Scottie Pippen was he also didn't get paid to the level he thought. AJ Brown's being paid like an elite wide receiver. We were not worried about Maxey playing. We were worried that a talent like Maxey will not get what he needs here to be as successful as his future. Yeah, absolutely. Birds won 2 times without AJ, just saying. I know. That one win, which win was it that they looked great without AJ out there, right? Eagles' 2 longest touchdowns in the history were both against Dallas. 101 yards, Lito Shepherd, and 102 yards in 06. Lito Shepherd. I love that. That's a great stat there, Rick. Great pull. I don't know where you got that. Maxey also has problems with skip passes to the weak side. Yeah. I mean, Maxey, in theory, is probably a better off-ball guard than a point guard, and a distributor. Arthur Brown acts this way because he's not checked enough from his chefs and thinks he has unlimited job security. Who? What? I'm losing. I missed you on that one. Oh, man. I missed the pizza talk. Yeah. No more pizza talk after this week. I'm done. I'm using my last menu as a coaster under my coffee cup right now. Yeah. I think we are forgetting Maxey's a young player in his second or third season. He's a little bit more than that. I think he's in his fourth season, at least. Hold on, I can figure that one out really quickly. I can figure that out real quick. Stats. Maxey's in, he's even more than that. 3, 4. He's in his 6th season, Tyrese Maxey. Just don't forget that. Season 6, okay? He's in right now. Put AJ on defense. That could separate. I love it. Would rather just have AJ shut the F up and play out his contract like a man. Yeah. Play it out. Keyword man. Yeah. Jalen Hurts wants the coaching staff to take the training wheels off. I agree. I think he does. I think they want to do more. I think they want to be trusted more to do more. And that's probably partly on Kevin Patullo or the coaches not trusting the continuity of this offense. It's really a big issue. But everyone is limited to their opinion. No, you are entitled. I love your opinion. I disagree. See, the point of this show, I always use the tagline, Nina, all opinions matter. It doesn't mean we have to agree. But also, we will always discuss every opinion. We won't bash each other. We discuss. We have an open-minded conversation. It's his 6th year. Yeah, exactly. People don't realize he's been around a long, long time. Eagles are the only team in the last 80 years with 2 fumble recovery touchdowns, at least 70 yards in the same game. It also, against Dallas, 73 yards by Chris Clemens, 96 yards. Joselio Jansen, that name, like I can picture Chris Clemens still. I can't picture. I remember the name, but I can't even picture Jansen. Wow, you're digging deep. Till you're told for so long. Well, how far behind am I on comments? I made that joke like I'm 8 minutes behind on comments. Damn, I got to catch these comments up. Barkley is more media friendly and gets the commercials more than AJ does. Maybe that upsets him. Does AJ Brown have any commercials? I don't even know. Saquon got figured out. Teams also said almost collectively, he's not beating us. Plus, yes, the O-line. But yes, the play calling. It's all of the above. I love that, though. They're trying to stop us by stopping Saquon. And we're still winning. They tried to stop Saquon in the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts put up an MVP performance. Right now, the defense is carrying us. It's a team sport. Teams win championships, not players. We will most likely lose our linebacker coach to a DC job. I was thinking Hunt and Parker. Maybe the linebacker coach. What's his name? Stewart. I forget his name off the top of my head. But, yeah, he could go. He could go as well. The only other time a team has had 2 70-yard fumble recoveries, Eagles against the Giants in 38. You're really digging deep on that one. Anybody know what the Eagles' record is? They're 2-8, Rick, right? Am I wrong about that? Are they 2-8 right now? It sucked to go from 101 wins in 11 to 82 in 2012. It did. It could happen. It could happen again. Anybody know if Eagles have beaten other top contenders in this league? No. They only got 2 wins. They couldn't have beaten anybody. They couldn't have. AJ and Smitty are the ones that started this round of wide receiver pay increases. Yeah. Everybody else has got them to thank, right? I can count on CD to drop some balls, but their defense is good. The Cowboys' defense is atrocious. The Cowboys' defense, points given up a game, is ranked 31st in the NFL. 30th in yards given up. This is the week to get the offense right. I'm wondering if we should complain about Maxey today after nobody is complaining about Tyrese Maxey. If you are hearing complaints, then you've got something in your ears. You got something clogged in your ears, bro. We're concerned that Nick Nurse is turned into Tom Thibodeau and going to burn his players out. What if Nick Sirianni holds them back? He looks tired, stressed. Dude, did you ever look like a president the day he takes office, the day he leaves office? You look at a picture 4.5 years ago, Nick Sirianni, when he's taking the job, to what he looks like now, the dude's gassed. The dude's burning out. No, they're 2-8. The last I checked, they were 2-8, Rick. I don't think they're. I think you messed up that stat there. Is it still you are what your record says you are? Yeah, it is. And our record says we're pretty damn good. So here's why Tank is getting more yards per play. Defense are selling out to stop Barkley because they got embarrassed last season. They're not selling out to stop the Tank. It's a great point, Duck. Absolutely. It doesn't mean the Tank's better than Saquon. Eagles are 2+8 on the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, exactly. Anyone concerned about the minutes played in the NBA? It's a different era, Rick. It don't matter. Don't matter, man. Different era. The Cowboys game is tailor-made for the Eagles this weekend. It's tailor-made for the Cowboys as well. Nothing this weekend will shock me. A win, a loss, a close win, a close loss, a blowout win, a blowout loss. Nothing will shock me this weekend. You know, you say the softer era stuff. It's just the way of the day. It's just the current days. It is what it is. You could think it's softer. That's a little negative thought process from you. But you always say we shouldn't be negative, but saying softer process, and you've used the word pussification of our athletes all the time in the past. That's negative talk as well. I am prepared for all outcomes this week. Most weeks I go into a game thinking I'm pretty locked in on a score, pretty locked in on a result, and anything but that shocks me. I am so wide open in my opinion on this week. I don't know how we only have 14 likes. 28 votes on the poll, 14 likes. We've been 17 to 20 viewers most of the show. Don't get it. I don't know why people aren't hitting that like button, the subscribe button, share button today. It's Shador week. Co-win, young man. Oh, man. Shador's got a chance to shut people up this week for sure. What will happen? Will happen. The players can only play how they're going to play. Sounds so generic. I love it, though. Cowboys are doing Cowboys things. 0-4 against teams over 500. Beat up on tomato cans. Yeah, I know. I went into that. The only time they put up the big numbers on offense is when they're playing bad teams. They haven't put up a huge offensive output against any good teams. Pitchers pitch less. Look, I get it. It is softer. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just what it is. Some of it's smarter. We're smarter on taking care of our athletes. There's a lot to it. It is what it is. Oh, well. You can complain about it all you want. It is what it is. We need a convincing win. Absolutely. But a convincing loss doesn't change anything this year either. And that's why I'm so stuck on this game. I mean, softer could be a bad thing, if you want to say that. But we're smarter people on recovery, on taking care of the bodies, on protecting from injuries. Science is better now than it was 20 years ago. And we're protecting our athletes better. They're protecting their investments better. You still want them to run around without helmets on out there? Because it was, going from no helmets to having helmets on your head was something that they got softer in football with that. Do you want football players to go out there running around with no helmets on? No pads on? Do you complain about that? There's more data about recovery and that's exactly what I'm saying. It's not softer. They're smarter. Eagles have 8 convincing wins already. Yeah. But they haven't won 8. They've only won 2 games, Rick. You can't win 8 games until you've won 8 games. By the letter of the law, this team, by the way the media plays it, we're a 2-8 football team right now. Yeah, and they're starting to throw harder at a younger age, and their arms are getting blown out quicker. There's so much to it. Just saying it's a soft-ass sports is such a, in my opinion, a lazy way of saying things. You could say you don't like the soft-ass era, but doesn't mean it's bad for sports. It just means different. Concussion numbers are way lower in rugby because they hit correctly, and that's a training thing. That's not a soft thing or not soft thing. That's a training thing, okay? And unless you've read an article saying that, which I don't know why anybody would, I don't know. No, this is a negative thing. Not at all. I think you're way off base there. That's your pre-programmed machismo from growing up in the 80s like me, not evolving into the current day and age that we are in. We are softer. We used to have several career-ending injuries or deaths. Yeah, exactly. At least you know what I'm saying. Guys, we're coming up to the final 5. We might go overtime. Let's take a look at the NFL this weekend. Let me take a look at all the games in the NFL this weekend, give you some predictions, and then we'll give an Eagles. As a nurse, I can't agree with softer. Exactly. You're not going to get a disagreement from me, okay? Safety does matter, okay? Rugby, they are taught not to lead with their heads in tackling. Exactly. The fundamentals of tackling aren't taught to the kids well. Oh, I know you stir the pot. And I'm just going to give you my blatant, honest opinion. Okay, let's look at these games. Sunday, first game on the ESPN scoreboard here. Steelers at Bears. Bears are 2.5-point favorites for Dakota. We're picking the Bears to cover in that game. Next game, Patriots at Bengals. Patriots on the road, 6-point favorites. Patriots cover the spread there. Giants at Detroit. Detroit needs a win. Detroit's 10-point favorites at home. Giants cover, but Detroit wins a 7-point show. Or Detroit wins, but under 10 points, like 7 points. Vikings at Green Bay. Both teams need a win in that division. Green Bay 6-point favorites. I'll take the Packers in that game, -6. Titans at home hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's 13.5-point favorite. I think the Titans cover the spread, but do not win that game. Colts going to Kansas City. Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite against the Colts. All right, let's end the KC drama and let's smoke them. Chiefs lose. Colts win outright on that one. Jets at Baltimore, final 1 o'clock game. Baltimore's a 13.5-point favorite. If Lamar Jackson plays, they cover. If not, then they don't. Soft is the code word for yes, absolutely, and I agree with that. 1,000%. Helmets do not add the value people thought. Probably. There are some nasty injuries in rugby. Don't fool yourself. Yeah, exactly. Mitchie Poo tuning in. Good stuff. Good stuff. Bengals beat Patriots this week. Upset of the week. Ooh, that's a big upset. That wouldn't be my upset, but that would be I would love to see it just to shut them up. You know, the Patriots hypers. Colts definitely win in that game. No doubt about it. Chiefs beat Colts this week. Maybe that's me just wanting to see the Chiefs dynasty die. Is that what they say? Colts up? Or is it bolts up? I don't even know what they're saying is. If you don't look at what you tackle, then you're risking next injury. See, yeah, absolutely correct. And there's a lot of that in the NFL. 4 o'clock games. Browns at Raiders. The Raiders are 4-point favored in Sanders' debut. Raiders win. Raiders win. Raiders win. Jaguars, Cardinals. Jags are 3-point favorites on the road. Yeah, I'll take the Jaguars to win and cover that. Falcons at Saints. Saints are 2.5-point favorites. Kirk Cousins going to go in there and win that game outright. Buccaneers is your Sunday night game. Going to LA to face the Rams. Rams are 7-point favorites. I'll take the Buccaneers to cover, but the Rams will win that game. And we'll get to the Eagles score in a minute here. Izzy, I didn't know that. I'm just randomly going through scores here. I'm not going any analytics here. Whatever. You want to make a bet with somebody, you go for it. We got 19 people watching here. We're at the coming towards the end. Bucket win outright this week? Who? What? Bucket? What am I missing on that one? Anyway, Eagles. So I'm going to read off the scores that I wrote down that I'm not picking this game to be, okay? I wrote down 27-24 Eagles. Oh, Buccaneers win. Yes, I think the Buccaneers win this week. Definitely. Well, no, I said they cover the spread. But it's tough to win on the road. I'm no gambling degenerate. Not anymore. Not anymore. So I wrote down scores of 27-24 Eagles win. 24-20 Eagles win. 31-21 Eagles win. 27-10 Eagles win. I wrote down Cowboys 24-17. All those are out the window. And I've got two scores I'm looking at here. Okay? Two scores. I'm looking at an Eagles win 21-10 because our defense just manhandles that Cowboys offense. And I am looking at a 2017 Cowboys win. And I don't know which way to go. And I don't think this show or this entire week of shows has given me a reason. 34-20 or 44-20. Which one are you predicting? I mean, I like the confidence in the offense figuring it out. But I don't know if I've seen enough. I also think the Eagles' defense is going to dominate so much, and the Eagles' offense can figure it out by controlling the clock. If the Eagles win time of possession by 10 minutes, a turnover battle and stuff like that, I don't know if the Eagles will run enough, have enough series, not enough drives to put up 40 points, 35 points. Phillips now on a fixed income. I am on a fixed income, so yeah. It takes a special kind of crazy to play football. Anything can happen when you run full speed. Absolutely. 28-21. I don't hate that score. Not at all. Not at all. I don't hate that score. I just don't know if the Eagles are going to put up 40-some points. I think they can win by double digits. 2-3 touchdowns. I just don't know if it's because they put up. I think if they win big, it's because of the other thing. The defense holds them down. 24-17 Eagles, and I like that score. I think the Eagles take the disrespect personally and show the league who is in charge. And then you know what's going to happen? Well, they just beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys aren't that good. That'll be the follow-up to that. 26-12. That is a rant. Is that in the scoregamis? Has that ever happened before? Dallas gets 20 with a last series field goal to win, or a field goal in the last 4 minutes. Gotcha. 18-13. That sounds like another scoregami right there. Dakota spit first. Jalen Carter goes beast mode. Rick, I hope Jalen Carter learned from that situation. Because, yes, Dakota did spit first. But in all sports, the retaliator always gets penalized over the instigator, right? So it's the way it happens, right? Maybe it won't be a spitting incident, but damn well that the Dallas offensive line and Dakota Prescott are going to be goading and baiting Jalen Carter the entire game. Jalen Carter better learn his lesson and keep his emotions in check. Eagles get 1 point safety this week. First time. What? And it's happened in college, but not the pros yet. How does a 1 point safety happen? Never even heard of that. Learn something new every day. Anyway, we're in overtime again today. I think I'm going to wrap this baby up here. I'm going to go Homer. I'm going to be the Homer self that I am. And I am going to say 21-10. Eagles win this game. Look it up. If I have time. I'm an unemployed man. I wrote it down. We'll see if I find it. The CFL 1 point, yeah. Happened twice in college, according to Nooms. I don't know. Never heard of it. Never, ever heard of it. Anyway. 21-10, Eagles win. I'll be live about 3:55, 4 p.m. on Sunday for the game, live the whole game here, as we always are. On Sunday, I mean. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share. Go out and find me some friends to subscribe this weekend because I need it. I'm on a fixed income. Need to make some money doing this. So, guys, with that being said, it was a great week. It's been the greatest week since I got married. Greatest week of my life in the last 18 years. I'm free. You want me to go live for the Sixers and the Eagles? I don't know if my body can handle that, but we're not all beast mode like you, Mitchie Poo. Why are you leaving? You could do 4 hours. I could. The max I actually could do, mister, is 2 hours. Actually, I'm not sure if it's an hour and 59 minutes or 2 hours even. So the program we use, StreamYard, cuts off the ability to make shorts out of the shows at the 2 hour mark. I guess it's too big of a program for them to run anything over 2 hours. So the max I can do is 2 hours. But I gotta go. I got things to do still. Still in recovery. Recovered XPA, past line of scrimmage. Recovered extra point attempt, past the line of scrimmage, and defense gets tackled in end zone. Interesting. Okay, thanks for that detail there. Congrats, good on you. Thank you, I appreciate that. He's not coattailing. He's giving the details I asked for. You didn't give me the details. You just said you like to drop knowledge. I needed details. He gave me the details I needed. When I ask for something, you give it to me, Rick. All right? Don't cop out. I could do two-hour shows. I've thought about doing an afternoon show. Not today, but occasionally going live at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock for 2 hours. Lackey. You're my lackey. Someone please subscribe. I know, Mitchie. I'm surprised you're not running around the streets trying to get somebody just so you can get a screenshot. Because, we never want Mitchie Poo to change. Never. It would be the worst thing in the world to happen if Mitchie Poo ever changed. No, you're my lackey. All right? You do what I tell you to do. You only come here to stir the pot because you know how awesome I am. Anyway, Mitch is the man. I love Mitchie Poo. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this baby up. Everybody have a great Friday. Hey, maybe no. We'll see if I'm bored later. Maybe I'll do a show tonight. Who knows? You never know. That's why we like, we subscribe, we turn the notifications on. Everybody have a great Friday. If I don't talk to you before then, everybody, I will see you Sunday for Eagles, Cowboys, 4 o'clock. I forgot to say it. Go Birds and Bubbles up.